Well, hello, everyone. So glad to be with you today. I am AJ, Intuitive Channel with Speaking from Source, and this.
I'm Thomas. How are you?
Welcome, everyone. We're so delighted that you're joining us for our second installment, number 2 of our Infinite Pathways series that we're doing with Soul Search. And we just want to welcome everyone who's joining us today, whether it be live or on the replay, that are joining us from our wonderful Soul Search community, watching on the Soul Search community Facebook group page. A big shout out to you. We know there's some wonderful people there that are always contributing and are always joining us.
And they're on our hearts today, especially our Soul Search friends in the LA area.
Oh, yeah.
Please know we're very conscious of what's going on and sending our very best vibes for everyone's health and safety. We're thinking about you all. So shout out to you all.
Absolutely. That's very important consideration there, Tom. Thank you so much. And we also want to welcome those who are joining us on the Speaking from Source Facebook page. Hello, everyone. You can always see updates there for us, from us at any time. And also over at the Speaking from Source YouTube channel as well, where you can add your live comments there. Of course, on all of those 3 platforms, you can add your live comments throughout the chat, and we'll feature you. And we'll also have a wonderful discussion at the end of our little watch party here, where we'll go into some of the principles and practices that we express through the guides in our show.
But don't wait. You can have live chat anytime throughout all of this broadcast. So we'd love to hear your thoughts as you're watching. We'd love to see your reactions to what you're responding to, what you're not. Tonight's all about the energy. So we're going to be talking a lot about vibration. We're going to be talking a little bit about the chakras, lots to look at and lots to understand. And again, we'd love to have you keep chatting. Feel free to ask questions at any time, and we'll take them up right after the finish of the program. And we're here to chat with you. So really looking forward to that. Please feel free to join us.
Yeah, take advantage of it. You know, it's a lot of fun, and we never know what's going to come up. And that's sort of part of the thrill of it as well, to hear what you guys have to say and all of your impressions as well. And as Tom mentioned, this is episode 2, all about the energy, realizing our vibrational frequency. And how important is that? Because, you know, we hear a lot that people are empaths and intuitives, and you know, they're often buffeted by the psychic winds that are out there, whether people are experiencing sadness and grief and trauma that is happening, for example, right now with the fires in Los Angeles or anywhere else around the world. We know that conditions aren't ideal in many places around the world, and how our hearts are out to you. And the big question is, how do we maintain our frequency? How does vibration affect us? How does our own personal energy affect us? And what do the guides have to say about that? Because, you know, we could go on forever about, you know, what we've learned in our personal journey, but the guides have some unique insights. And that's why we bring those unique insights to you in this programming. And, you know,
in fact, what Thomas and AJ think doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. That's true.
What the guides think really matters. Although it's interesting, and I think we'll make the point in the program that we talk about energy all the time. We say, oh, I don't have any energy, or my energy is low. We really don't think about what exactly that means and how energy is really critical to our life force.
Yeah, it is.
So we'll let the guides tell us all about it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good point. So I wanted to mention as well, we have 12 wonderful episodes. And so if you missed the first episode, you can watch the replay on the Soul Search community page or our YouTube page, for example. But you can also go over to soulsearch.io/on-demand. And there you will see a whole plethora of television programming for you to watch absolutely free on demand. And you'll see our show there, The Infinite Pathway. There are 12 episodes, and you can binge watch those if you want. That would be just great. But we're also delighted to have you join us in this watch party live today. So without further ado,
let's watch together.
All right, that sounds like a plan. Let's get this party started.
Thomas Workman and A.J. Kavanagh are intuitive channels who have a remarkable ability to speak for a spiritual collective they call the Guides. They are unique in that they channel the Guides together, sharing one mind as they deliver messages. The primary interest of the Guides is helping us all live consistently in the state of joy, accomplished through a set of simple practices they call the Infinite Pathway. The Infinite Pathway, Journey to Self-Realization.
We welcome you. We are grateful to speak with you and have many things we wish to share with you. We are here only because of your asking. And for the asking is the energy of the universe, bringing us into expansion through your desire to know more and to be more. And we are grateful to be a part of this energetic evolution, the universe expanding through the consciousness across dimensions. I'm Thomas Workman.
And I'm AJ Kavanagh. Welcome to the Infinite Pathway, the journey to self-realization.
As the guides just said, our asking is the energy of the universe, and we've been asking a lot.
And so have you. We all have been asking questions about who we are and the mysteries of the universe.
We're at a unique time in our evolution. There are now exciting new opportunities to grow our consciousness and discover more and more about our energetic environment.
And today's episode is all about the energy.
And that's because it's all energy. Everything. All of it.
That's right. You know, the guides have a lot to say about universal energy and the way it expresses itself in our own vibrational frequency.
And as you'll see, it's an important aspect of our self-realization.
Yes. So our task today is to discuss the messages from the guides on the topic of energy and realizing vibrational frequency, and then apply them and their teachings to a life based in joy.
As usual, we've asked the guides to come in and be with us throughout this discussion. And as they say, they're never far away. So we truly know that they'll whisper in our ear and make sure we explain and elaborate on their messages clearly.
All right, then.
So let's get started.
Sounds like a plan. Now, I understand that energy is used to make things go, like putting fuel in my car or when I plug in the toaster to an electrical socket. But the guides, I think they're talking about something else here.
Yeah, that's right. The guides say very simply that all is energy. In other words, every atom and molecule, which are the building blocks of all form and matter, is made of energy.
And that's what they mean by universal energy. It's the stuff that powers everything.
Yes, everything in the universe is made up of the exact same energy. So let's hear the guides explain to get a little bit better idea about this.
You are all operating from the exact same energy source, that all of you are powered by the same energy brought to life by the exact same force that makes planets circle the sun and that creates new stars. You are of the exact same energy as all these things, of every living being, whether it is human or not. It is these connections that you have that are sources of great joy for you. They can be sources of great joy, for suddenly you are not alone. You are a part of something so much greater, something divine. And in that divinity, as you realize that divinity, there is a source of joy for you.
Whether human or not. Wow. You know, this reminds me of a famous scientist and astronomer known as Carl Sagan. I'm sure many of you have heard of him. And he said almost 50 years ago that the cosmos is within us. We are made of star stuff, and it's a way for the universe to know itself. Now, his words are significant here because they suggest that the universe has consciousness, it has energy.
And like all energy, there's a power source that's also conscious. In other words, this is what the guides mean when they refer to the central intelligence of the universe, what you or I may refer to as God or Allah or Supreme Being or any other name as source. What they mean is the power source of the entire universe.
Oh boy, oh boy. Well, that's a lot to take in. And we've just started this episode on energy. But my conscious energy is telling me right now that it's time to take a breath. Well, that certainly feels better.
Sure does. People have been studying energy since humans first discovered electricity.
Yes, and electricity is a good example of how energy, it can't be created or destroyed.
But it can change its form, like water can change from ice to vapor, and it can also be transferred from one location to another, like internet signals that go through the airwaves or electricity that goes through a wire.
Yeah, very true. This idea of energy creating form is really fascinating. Just think that universal energy has formed itself into planets and galaxies and stars.
Yeah, that's true, but not just that. It also forms itself into living beings, including us. We are perfectly formed energy, connected in this respect to everyone and everything.
Exactly. The guides have said that we're universal energy that is uniquely focused.
Hmm.
So let's listen to them speak about that.
It is important for you to realize that all things are universal energy, including yourself. We see you as divine energy from the universe that is uniquely focused. What is it that we mean by this? We mean that the chair that you are seated in, the desk that surrounds you, the home, the trees, all these things are energy that have been uniquely focused. The tree focused to be a tree, as you call it. The desk focused to be a desk. It is possible for the desk to become something other than a desk, and yet it is fulfilling a need in being the desk. Most importantly, because all is energy, all is able to find a form. This includes yourself, your body in this incarnation, your life and all that is surrounded by it, a beautiful aspect of universal energy.
But it's not just physical things.
Well, that's right. There's energy in non-physical things as well. Now, psychics and mediums pick up on universal energy when they tune in to get their impressions and readings from the non-physical realms.
Yeah, we as channels also tap into the non physical energies of the ascended masters, the angels, and intergalactic beings who are all expressed as non physical light beings.
Yes, it's all about the energy, physical or non-physical. Here's how the guides put it.
This communion is one of pure energy. It is one that does not feel like what happens in your dimension, but is truly what happens across the universe as life forces join. We are no different than you as a life force, as and energy, whether we are physical or non-physical, is unimportant. And this is a new teaching for many of you who have become used to, from your dimension, a state of physicality. I can feel the table. I can feel the ground. I am aware of my physical body. These things, yes, are important, for you have manifested into this dimension at this time. We do not wish to undermine your thinking of these as unimportant. We wish instead to remind you that they are the stepping off place for so much more that exists around you and through you and is you. You are as much non-physical as you are physical. And so we join with you in this realm where we can, through vibration, meet together, and we welcome our time together.
Now, did you notice the guides just mentioned the words vibrational frequency? We got to talk about
We
that.
absolutely do. All energy expresses itself through vibration. In other words, energy expressed in waves, which in turn create vibrations.
And that vibration creates specific frequency. In other words, fast vibration creates a high frequency, and low vibration creates a lower frequency.
So in any moment, we're all vibrating at a frequency.
Yes, but not always at the same frequency. Our frequency fluctuates from high to low throughout a day. It's fascinating that our scientists have known about this for quite some time. In fact, they can measure vibration. They can measure the frequency of our voice or the frequency of our brain activity, even the frequency of our heartbeat.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, we've just given everyone a Science 101 lesson. So how about we get back to the metaphysical part that comes from, say, our channeling together?
Yep, that makes good sense. All right. So let's talk about what the guides say. The guides tell us that our vibrational frequency plays a critical role in our emotions, as well as in our intuition and our connection to the divine.
Yes, that is absolutely true. They teach that we experience vibrational frequency as emotion. When our frequency is high, we obviously feel emotions like happiness, love, and joy. And when our frequency is low, we feel things like apathy and sadness or even discontentment.
Yeah, most of us believe that our emotions are caused by the environment or circumstances around us, like that old Carpenter song, Rainy Days and Mondays Always Bring Me Down.
Yep, I know the one.
Boy, are we from an older generation or what?
Yeah, I guess so. But I love Karen Carpenter. She was amazing, and that song was just great.
Anyway, many of us think that we feel love only when someone or something special comes into our lives, or that we feel happy because someone's done something nice to us, or we've received a wonderful gift of some kind. In fact, we want and wish for these kinds of things because we're convinced that we'll feel happy when we have them.
Yes. However, we seldom have control over the many circumstances we find ourselves in from day to day.
But we always have control with our vibrational frequency. The guides teach that vibrational frequency is determined through our thoughts. When we think positive thoughts, we raise our vibration and immediately feel better. And when we focus on negative thoughts, we keep our vibration low and feel those effects as well. Here's what the guides say. Your thinking produces the vibrational frequency that operates your emotions. You may connect your feeling to the thinking you have at the moment and see the pathway from one to the other.
So our vibrational frequency and the emotions it creates in us is all up to us to determine.
That's exactly what the guides teach. Let's listen.
You understand, of course, that it is you who are in control of your vibrational frequency. You who have the hand on the dial and are able to move from lower level frequencies to higher. You who have the ability to ultimately decide to choose which frequency you wish to have, and you may control it. You are often used to hearing the opposite. Yes, you are hearing that it is a circumstance that determines your vibrational frequency. It is the bad day, it is the bad occurrence, it is the bad drive, it is perhaps the unfortunate circumstances that determine for you the level of your frequency. And we would say to you, no, it is in fact quite opposite. It is your ability to turn your dial, to adjust your frequencies in order to attend to any circumstance.
Wow. Yes, our ability to control our energy is pretty amazing. And that's largely because not only can we keep ourselves in positive emotions like joy, but we can also positively affect others by keeping our emotions high as well.
That's right. When we got married, we put into our wedding vows that we were not going to rely on each other to make each other happy,
Mm.
that we would instead commit to keeping our own individual vibrations high as a way to bring joy to each other and to the marriage.
Yeah, I just love that. So keeping my vibration high is the best thing I can do for everyone that I care about. You know, this one lesson from the guides could revolutionize the way we build relationships. Now, if only we just took the time to practice it and live it.
Yeah, that's what makes this teaching so important, particularly at this time. And we're going to have to get to those practices if the guides have anything to say about it.
We sure will. Now, one thing we know as channels is that our range of frequency is quite different from the frequencies of the higher realms.
Yeah, this is really interesting. You can hear in some of our earlier channeling that it took a while for us to adjust to the level of frequency of the angels, ascended masters, and intergalactic beings that we connect to. You can even tell now that we have to reach to get to their level of frequency, which is so much higher than our own. Over time, though, the guides have helped us attune to their energies a bit better, making the transfer of energy a little bit easier.
Yeah, that is for sure. And also bringing more fluency to our channeling, as you can hear in our more recent recordings. Well, okay, let's talk more about this idea of energy transfer.
Yeah, one thing I find fascinating is our ability to read the vibrational frequency of other people and the environment around me. And I know they can read mine.
Yeah, absolutely. There have been many times I myself, and I'm sure you have as well, have walked into an empty room and sense exactly what's going on. In one case, maybe a celebration, and in another, an argument.
Yeah, that's why we can sometimes feel the mood that someone is in without even talking to them.
Yeah, so very true. And you know, I just love watching those paranormal shows for this very reason.
Yeah, those paranormal shows are interesting because sometimes you can tell people are feeling the energy, and sometimes you can tell they're not.
Yeah, that's true. You know, that leads me to a story about the first home that I bought, and it was definitely a fixer-upper. I bought it as a foreclosure, and it had sat empty for at least a year. And by this time, it also had its fair share of squatters that had come and gone as well. And I remember going in and the realtor showing me around with a flashlight, actually, because there were no working lights. And as I walked into each room, I decided to open myself up to the feeling of the environment in each room. Now, despite the home's obvious need for repair, you know, the vibes were just fine. And I was able to purchase and renovate the home. And guess what? 5 years later, I was able to sell it at a good margin.
Wow, real estate by vibration.
There you go.
Part of what AJ is describing here is the basis of all intuition and empathy. What we're actually doing is reading the energy around us, and we do so all the time. It's how we relate to ourselves, others, and the world around us. This is why all of us really have the ability to be empaths, psychics, mediums, or channels.
In fact, it's why we need to think about the environment we place ourselves in, because those frequencies can either help us or they can really bring us down. Our ability to read our environment helps us discern and choose only the environment that supports our greatest good. Now, here's how the guides describe it. They say, feel carefully the energies of those that are around you. Make conscious choices of those.
So, what's interesting here is that there's a level of vibrational frequency that we set for ourselves. And then there's the idea that you and I are able to tap into and perceive the vibrational frequencies of others and our environment.
Yeah, very true. And we've talked about the dangers of negative environments or negative people, but there's many more examples of how our friends and our family and how our an amazing planet can actually enhance our own vibration. And the guides offer us this. You could pull the energy from your environment to give you strength and higher vibrations, if you will, at any moment.
Wow, that is really interesting. Okay, we've talked about a lot of things, but we cannot close this episode without mentioning that we have this amazing energy system within our physical bodies called the chakras. These are specifically designed to help us align to and integrate universal energy, and they allow us to maximize our physical, mental, and spiritual health.
Yes, very true. We often associate the chakras with a system of yogic or Vedic tradition, but it's actually part of our innate human design. Now, the guides talk often about the energy centers and how they work cooperatively to keep our energy flowing or to keep our chi high. and also that it makes sure that our energy is aligned and functioning perfectly for us.
That's right. So let's take a look at an illustration here that describes each one of the chakras and where they reside in just a little bit more detail. We only have time to introduce these today, and there's much more to learn and practice about this amazing system and how they express universal energy in our bodies.
At the base is our root chakra. It focuses our energies that produce our feelings of safety and security. And it's literally the energy center where we ground our physical body to that of Gaia. Moving up to the next chakra is the sacral chakra. It's located just below the belly button, and it's where the energies of creation, from reproduction to imagination, remind us that, like all universal energy, we have the ability to create.
Above that is the solar plexus chakra. It's where the energies of our individual identities, both spiritual and physical, are integrated. It's where the I am energy is generated, allowing us to know who we are, not just as a human being, but as an eternal soul. Then there's the heart chakra. It integrates the energies that we most associate with the heart, things like compassion, empathy, and love. I think it's fascinating that our energetic system includes the ability for all of us to feel compassion to all other beings. It tells me that we really do have the capacity to live together in peace and harmony, even when we disagree with one another's choices.
Very true. Now, the throat chakra is next. Here is where we can expand the expression of ourselves through our communications and share our personal truths. Now, notice how this chakra works with our emotions. Our voice closes when we're upset, and it opens with the desire to sing, for example, when we're joyful or happy. Now, many mystics work specifically with the next chakra, the third eye. This is found in the middle of the forehead, and it is so strong within us that some people, they say they can actually see it. It's where we find our intuition, and it's where we're able to see beyond our physical sight and sense into the other dimensions. I think it's significant to realize that everyone has a third eye, not just those we call gifted or a psychic. We all have the exact same energetic system for reading beyond our physical dimension. And it is your third eye that enables you to connect with your guides from the divine realm each and every day.
Well, that's a great thing to know. Now, last but anything but least, all of us have the crown chakra, and it's just as the name suggests, sitting above the head, and it always connects you to the energies of the divine and your higher self. It feeds your chakra system, much like the root chakra draws from the energy of Mother Earth.
So, through our chakra system, we're always connected to the ground and to the divine realm. There's so much to understand and know about this energy system in the body, and the guides actually have given us a phenomenal new insight into the chakras and how they work within us as we come to a greater understanding of our own self-realization. So let's listen in to some of what the guides have shared with us.
Within you is the system that humans must live by in the light. Why the chakras have light, and why they are formed the way they are for. This is life within the light. Wherever you are in the universe, these are the universal truths of light. That there is a sense of security always, a knowing that you are cared for. These elements are critical for your thriving in the light and transforming what has been life in the darkness into life in the light.
The energy of your chakras are connected to the divine. And because they are connected to the divine, they are connected by the divine. You are created by divine, and so they are attuned toward that direction. Although you can set yourself fairly far from them, you will still have chakras and you will still have cells. I find our connection to the divine, especially the idea of connecting to the divine through our chakra system, just fascinating.
Yes, I do too.
Yeah.
Though there's a lot for us to explore there, and we'll be sharing more from the guides about the chakras in our posted meditations and our workshops. But for the moment, let's just summarize what we've covered so far in this episode. We've talked about one universal energy, which is found within us, everything around us, and the entire universe. That energy forms everything into being and powers life itself. That energy is also conscious and has a source.
Yes. And we've talked about the source energy expressing itself as vibration. It expresses itself as you and me and everything around us.
And then we learned that we can control the vibration of our energy in each and every moment, from changing the way we feel about our conditions to consciously manifesting our dreams or connecting with the divine by harnessing the power of our chakra system.
Yeah, well, that means that it's time to introduce a daily practice.
Great, we've got a couple of them.
We do indeed.
Our first suggested daily practice can help you take control of your vibrational frequency, and you can do this at any time.
Now, a lot of people are talking about the importance of raising your vibration lately, considering the many mixed energies in our environment, which, often tend to bring us down.
That's right, but remember, our vibrations are directly impacted by thoughts. So we always have the ability to stop, pivot our thinking, and by doing so, raise our frequency.
And improve our emotions. Change your thoughts, change your vibration. Change your vibration, change your emotional experience.
I think that should be a bumper sticker.
It could well be.
And here's how you do it. At any moment, especially when you're feeling emotions of sadness, disappointment, or apathy, stop and ask, what thoughts have I been thinking in the past few hours or even the past few days that have created this frequency? The more conscious you can be about what you've been mulling over in your head, the better.
Yes. Now, have you ever caught yourself going over a comment that, someone made to you and how it occupies your headspace? Or perhaps you caught yourself worrying about a financial obligation or the pressures of a work deadline or challenge?
Yeah, it could be anything, like getting frustrated at the self checkout scanner at the supermarket. That one gets me almost every time.
Every time.
Or getting stuck in heavy traffic on the highway. Remember, it's not the thing, it's the way we think about it.
Yes, that's very true. And conversely, some people, when they're stuck in traffic, they take it as a chance to stop, reset, and take a few breaths.
It might actually raise the vibration.
Hmm.
Now, the issue here is that whenever you're having negative thoughts about anything, your vibrational frequency will always shift lower as a result.
Yes. So whenever you catch yourself in times like these, consider it a time to refocus those thoughts towards something of a higher and more positive vibration. Now, the best way to do this is to think about the things you love or appreciate and then refocus your energy into all of those really good and wonderful feel-good details.
Yes, you might even want to use a journal to create lists of people and places that raise your vibration. And you can also keep finding new things to add to the list.
Yes. Now, the guides tell us there are a million things that the universe provides for us to focus our thoughts on positively, from a flowering tree or a bird singing in the park to a stranger's kind smile when they introduce themselves and say hello. It's whatever is positive to you.
Though it doesn't sometimes feel like it, the guides promise that our lives have far more positive aspects to think about than negative ones.
Hmm. And if you practice this regularly, you'll find that refocusing your concerns to more happier ones gets easier and easier. And the shift in your vibration happens faster. You'll also start to build the habit of only thinking about those positive thoughts that make you feel good, recognizing the things that you appreciate without even trying. And the good thing is that the higher you are in vibration, the easier it will become for you to pivot from these negative thoughts.
That's true. And after a while, those negative thoughts will feel so foreign to you that you catch them before they even begin to affect your vibrational frequency, which allows you to keep soaring emotionally.
Sounds good. Another practice to make conscious choices is about the environment and people around you.
Remember that many of the negative thoughts you're thinking may be influenced by those around you. So when you're sensing your emotions starting to turn sour, ask yourself, what's around me that may be influencing my thoughts and vibration negatively.
Yeah, now it's important to remember that this isn't about the blame game.
That's right.
You know, the idea is not to judge people here whose negative thoughts or attitudes may be rubbing off on us, or those places that may carry a low vibrational tone. Blame and judgment themselves are lower vibrational thoughts, and they only really serve to make us feel worse in the long run.
And trying to change someone to the way you believe is right isn't the answer either.
Yeah, not at all. You know, that often ends up as an exercise in frustration, although, you know, we see it all the time.
But here's what to do instead. Paying close attention to those influences and how we allow them to impact our thinking can help us make new choices.
So when you feel this way, try to take note of the person's behavior or the environment and exactly how it's making you feel.
Then make a conscious choice. It's either time to change the way they're influencing your thinking, or it's time to change your exposure to that influence.
Yes. Now, some of these influences are created actually by our own choices. We actually invite lower vibrational thoughts into our environment.
For example, we may watch the news or some form of negative media entertainment faithfully, even though it always fills our heads with negative or worrisome thoughts.
Yeah. Or we maintain relationships with individuals we think behave at a lower vibration just out of a sense of obligation. But remember, you always have a choice to change the environment or to change the people around you.
Now, these two practices work well together. By choosing to surround yourself with positive people and places, it becomes easier to practice positive thinking. And it's then easier for you to insist on being surrounded by people and places that raise your vibration.
Some of these choices can be difficult,
Mm.
like disconnecting from a codependent friend or a toxic work environment. Much easier is the idea of moving to a place that gives you more opportunity to be closer to the things you love, like living in a warmer climate or up in the mountains or close to the ocean.
If any of those places are things that you love and appreciate. The idea here is to make new choices about who and what surrounds you, as well as to allow yourself to become exposed to new people and new environments, which you may find are even more harmonious and pleasing. And we have one last practice for you in this episode about realizing your vibrational frequency, and it's perhaps the most important. It's a practice designed to help you understand and work with your internal energy system, what we've been talking about as the chakras.
Yes. And if you're new to hearing about the chakras, the first step may be to learn more about them. And there are a great many resources across the internet or from local energy healers in your community. There's a lot to discover about each of the chakras and how you can activate them. And most importantly, how you're able to flow energy between them to provide a perfect energetic balance and alignment.
We've found meditation, meditating on each of the chakras from the root to the crown, is a great way to become conscious of these energy centers, feeling into each of the energies that they contain.
Right. We actually offer several chakra meditations available from download on our website, speakingfromsource.com, but there are many others also available on places like YouTube, for example.
Because chakras are also activated by sound, the use of mantras are a great addition to your meditation. We spend time at least once a week in meditation with mantras that are set to music.
Yes. Mindful meditation about your chakras is also a good way to recognize the energy you experience as emotions and where they reside in your chakras. Now, when you find something going on emotionally and identify the chakra affected, you can then choose to take action to rebalance and remedy that emotion through the divine energy of the chakra that is expressed. It may be as simple as something like grounding through your root chakra whenever you feel unsettled by simply connecting back with nature.
Yeah, meditation outside, for example, seated on the lawn of a nearby park, may be the best remedy.
Yep, very true. Well, we're so grateful to be able to share with you the channeled wisdom from the guides, which they share with us so freely and lovingly. We'd like to leave you with this very special message from the guides as they share with you your eternal being, the loving energy of Source itself.
That's all from us for now. We look forward to seeing you next time.
The aspect of co-work, the aspect of how your energy affects the larger universe. It is a combination of all our energies. It is a conscious co-creation. It is a joining of the light from below to the light from above to below. Every time we move our vibration into joy and appreciation, your personal light is strengthened. Therefore, so too is the personal light of the earth, and in turn, the universe and the consciousness itself. As you do this consciously, it is all the more so because it is done with a divine intention of yours and of ours together.
Coming up in the next episode of The Infinite Pathway. For the latest messages from Thomas, AJ, and the guides, please join them on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, or follow them on Instagram at Speaking From Source. You can also book your personal session with the guides on their website, speakingfromsource.com.
Oh my goodness.
There we go. I really love that episode. We learned a lot, when the guides start talking about energy, and it's a real basis of all of their teaching. In fact, each one of these episodes for us represented a major premise that the guides wanted us to understand in order to live by. And this premise that your energy, we're energy, it's all energy, was really an important early teaching that we're delighted to be able to share. And the point that they made, which I'm always fascinated by, about even the adjustment of energy for us. When we started channeling, and you can hear some of the early channelings because they're in this recording, where we're very staid and you can also hear, I hope, the different levels of energy of the different beings that come through. The guides are collective. They're a group of non-physical beings, some that are interdimensional, some intergalactic, some angels, some ascended masters, but we can really feel the difference in energy, and I think you could hear them.
Yeah.
One of those channeled beings was very fast. If you noticed, it was just sort of like, couldn't get it out fast enough. Isn't that fascinating? So sort of this demonstration of the lesson itself.
Yeah. Really fascinating, because we all do reside on different levels of frequency and different levels of consciousness, if you will. And it really is amazing, when you open up and you get an opportunity to really become aware of your energy and your own personal vibration, and whether that's aligned, whether that's a match. A lot of people out there talk about soulmates and finding that one special person, and you kind of intuitively know if the frequency that you're dealing with someone, maybe on a blind date or something like that, is something that's worth pursuing, or you just know right away, oh, this isn't going to end well.
Well, and I've certainly had that in meetings with various people. Someone walks in the room and you know immediately, oh, this is not going to go well.
Right.
Or this individual's just really not in a good way. Not feeling well, or mentally not feeling well. Hey, so one other thing I want to announce to you, I'm really excited to announce to you, we made a promise in this episode that we have kept. And the promise is that we have more teachings and put together more. We have a course that'll launch in February, and you'll be able to find it on our website. Lots of changes happening to our website.
Yep.
If you go there now, you'll just see the announcement of the changes that are happening, and encourages you to sign up so that you can get various reminders about that.
Of what's coming next.
That's right. And one of those things is for our members, a course that's available that will all be about the chakras, where we'll go through each one of the chakras. We'll include both the guides' teachings as well as the things that they have taught us. And we'll always, if you've noticed, the guides are always practical, will include how to know where you're at with your chakras, and most importantly, what to do about it. How do I activate and how do I utilize a word we don't hear enough with chakras, and a word that the guides have introduced, that it's not just about activating them or the flow, which is of course important, but it's also about our utilization of them. Our being, and you heard even in this episode, some discussion around the fact that there are things we need to live a joyful life that are supplied by the chakras. So if we're not getting them, something's not working. And the guides want to help us find how to realize and utilize that.
Yeah, it's the root of disease in a way. It just doesn't sit comfortably, whether it be in your throat chakra or in your heart chakra or in your root chakra when you're unbalanced and unsettled. But you know what's interesting too, Tom, is that, and this is what I love about the guides, is that, you know, they are, or we have the opportunity to present to you really new and original insight about the chakras, because, you know, people have been talking about the chakras for an awful long time. And I go through, you know, the basic functions of what the root chakra does, and, you know, how the throat chakra might affect you, or how to open up your third eye. But the guides really go into some really original insight that you'll see upcoming through this course and through your journey with us at Speaking from Source, which really say, you know, you come here as a spiritual being, and you come here fully equipped. And what that means is that you come here fully equipped with an energetic system in your body, which we call the chakras, that enable you to move through all of your life circumstances and really help you in your manifestation and sort of navigate your physical reality. And I just find that fascinating.
So this is an important point, though, because we have lots of friends, and I myself am certified in Reiki, who understand the chakras from an energetic position around health. And certainly each of our chakras are located across our body to cover all of our physical systems. But the reality, too, and what the guides, I think, are really trying to teach, since everything they teach, their whole reason for coming, they have said to us, is to have us experience greater joy. And so they're interested in the practical elements, how we use our chakras, not just to maintain health or to heal, which is what often is done through energy work. And of course, energy work, everything's energy. It's all energy.
All about the energy.
But also to help us understand that there are functions that are critical for us that are supplied by our chakras as well. So again, we're excited about the course that'll come out, and we hope you'll be able to come on and take it and enjoy it and learn more about it. We promise it'll be priced well, so that people can take advantage of it, because it's so important people are able to learn from it.
Absolutely. Well, we're so grateful that you're here, whether you might be attending live or watching the replay on the Soul Search community, Facebook community there, on our own Facebook community at Speaking from Source, or over at our YouTube channel at Speaking from Source. As always, we love your interaction. We love you watching, but we also love to hear your comments. So if you didn't catch this live stream, comment below. We'll keep an eye out.
I know what that means.
Yeah, I know, it's somewhere down there. People point, that's a really big trend, I guess. But, you know, comment below. We'll keep an eye out, and we'll make sure to respond, whether it's at the Soul Search community or on our Facebook page or on our Speaking from Source YouTube channel.
But we sure love to hear your feedback and hear how all of this is affecting and changing you. So certainly, again, all of this for us is part of a mission. The guide said share our messages, and that's what we're here to do. But we'd love to hear how it helps you.
Yes.
So please feel free to share that, or how you think it's all baloney. You can share that too if you want to. we're happy to hear from you. So please
Absolutely.
do feel free to comment, even if you're watching a later broadcast.
With the replays, absolutely. Thank you so much. And you know what? We'll be back again.
Yep.
Next Thursday, we'll be back at the same time. Next Thursday, whether it's 4 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Mountain, and so on and so forth, whatever time zone you're in. Please feel free to join us live. We always love seeing you live. And we'll be going through all of the episodes of the Infinite Pathway series that we have. And as I said earlier, if you feel like you want to binge watch those episodes, head right over to soulsearch.io/on-demand.
It's soulsearch.tv.
Oh, it is. It's soulsearch.tv. I see that. He's handy to have around sometimes. soulsearch.tv. /on-demand to see all of the great programming that is there from all of the great many practitioners, including ourselves, with the Infinite Pathway series. And of course, soulsearch.io for the member directory there to find all sorts of great practitioners wherever you may live.
All right. Thank you all so much for being a part of it. We wish you a wonderful evening. We'll see you next week.
Thank you so much. See you then. Bye-bye for now.